Right, Avengers Doomsday just been announced. Give your thoughts, because I need to concentrate. This is...
Well, it's been announced for a while. I don't know if there's a new trailer. I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's not really a trailer. It's your boy Pascal going around filming like the names on the chairs, all the actors' chairs. And so this is the one. Apparently, what's his name? So
Downey.
Well, Bobby Downey Jr. It's called Doomsday, so obviously it's going to be Doctor Doom, right? Which it's going to be a bit weird seeing the Avengers swearing off against Doctor Doom, and they're meant to just ignore the fact that he looks exactly like Iron Man.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe they'll retcon it so that he isn't Victor Von Doom. He actually is Tony Stark, but from like an alternate universe. That's what he ended up doing. Oh, yeah, Jody one. Oh, swung all the way about just there, wasn't it?
Whatchamacallit says you've gone the wrong way as well. I wonder if we're even meant to be up here.
Is this some secret? Whoa! Killed the shit out of me. Is this like a sort of side area?
Aye, possibly.
Is it? Right, I'll go the other way. Yeah, so, no, I want to
whoop their ass then.
So, aye, so Magneto's back, Charles Xavier's back, and my only thing about that is, does that mean X-Men 1, 2 and 3 is the continuity that we're going with?
Yeah.
Because those films do not age very well.
Yeah.
And they're not very good in terms of what comes next. Because you've got no Jean Grey, you've got no Cyclops, Iceman. No, you do have Iceman, but didn't Magneto get depowered? But then there's that weird sort of post-credit scene where he might not be depowered. I'm getting my butt kicked here, man.
Like it says, you can use L1 to block.
Not when it's
a red. You're getting your ass handed to you.
Will you do it? I'm trying to talk about Avengers anyway.
You do it then.
Well,
you're trying to Dark Souls it.
You're
trying to roll.
Yeah,
trying to duck and roll instead of like.
That's not how you do Avengers. Then I'll have a go.
Fucking ruin these fucks.
That's what I was trying to do, but I was fucking failing miserably, wasn't I? Right. What was I trying to say? Right. If they're going with McKellen and Paddy Stewart, the issue with that is you've got that continuity. Now, are they going to just be a Days of Future Past, retconned everything, who knows, basically who knows what the continuity is? Okay, maybe. That's a little bit unsatisfying for basically everyone involved, but yeah. So there's a lot of baggage there. If it is that universe that they're sort of like taking in. The one that really bothered me was, what's his name? My name is Jeff.
Oh, is he in Avengers?
Oh God, what, Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
So because he's Gambit.
Oh, Gambit, yes, you're right.
So there was a seat saying Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yes.
But it's that whole thing about, I feel like you're making, I feel like...
Oh, you fucking nugget. Get out of the fucking realm shift.
It's like they don't want me to pay attention, because the whole thing about Gambit being in that weird nether realm or whatever it's called in Deadpool 3 was that he was never in the X-Men, he never got he never got his own film, he never got anything, like that was the whole point.
Right.
But if he's now one of the X-Men, how did he, like what? Like why would he have, I don't know, it's just messy, and it's sort of like, again, it makes you feel like you want me to pay attention, then I pay attention, and you guys aren't paying attention, type of thing. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like it.
So wait, was Gambit one of the names on the chairs?
No, it was Channing Tatum was one of the names on the chairs.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying.
So Gambit's going to continue. Right,
what is it? Maybe he's not going to be Gambit. Maybe it'll be somebody else.
No.
But then that's just sort of messy as well, because why would you bother? And clearly that's what they're trying to tease. you wouldn't have him in.
Well, you've
3,
established him in Deadpool 3.
Yeah, so then if he's just gonna be like, is he Iceman now or something like that? You like, what would be the point of that?
Yeah,
it's just
feels
weird.
dumb.
So what I'm saying is that there's a lot of moving parts there that are going to be hard to reconcile. But if they can, then it could be amazing. Getting some X-Men in there, getting the Fantastic Four in there, all this stuff could be great. I'm assuming what's going to happen is Reed Richards is going to do some multiverse, weird science experiment and
pull it all together for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming is going to happen, because they can't just. It would feel really cheap if they just went, oh, mutants have always been around, but we were in hiding the whole time. It's like, really? With all the alien invasions, with Thanos, everything else, Wolverine was just sitting on his hands. I don't really buy into that.
Just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, that wouldn't. I'd be like, Xavier, what you are about, mate? So yeah, presumably that'll what it will be, and yeah, I hope they pull it together. I hope they knock it out of the park, but it's going to be.
Well, what are some of the other names? So you got Channing Tatum.
Well, yeah, Channing Tatum, Ian McKellen, Paddy Stewart. You had Hemsworth, but obviously, I don't believe there was Scarlett Johansson. I'm gonna look at it right now. Robert Downey Jr. already announced playing Doctor Doom. Blah 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 blah. Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Mackie. Who's Anthony Mackie?
He's Falcon. Well, Captain America.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. Cool. Right. We expect that. Florence Pugh, who plays Yelena Belova.
No.
Shang-Chi.
Nice.
Right. Cool. We also cheers for Sebastian Stan, Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd. Also, what,
Ant-Man and Winter Soldier.
Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, Beast.
Again, presumably he's going to be Beast.
Yeah.
Which is awesome actually, because Beast was in the Avengers for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. That's great if they do that right.
They have to. Again, it's trying to balance everybody's time into it. It's making sure that people get enough screen time, that it doesn't just feel like cameo fest.
Yeah.
Which is my only issue with Channing Tatum, is it's like...
well, it says here, Channing Tatum, who appeared as X-Men character Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine.
But he's a meme. He's just a meme in that, is he not?
In Deadpool and Wolverine? No. Gambit was awesome in that.
He's really not.
No, I disagree. I thought he was great in that.
Why do I get out of here? It's just...
I mean, he was played for laughs in some ways, but he got his, hero moment. The whole thing, oh, I'm about to make a name for myself right now. I mean, he did. He had a good innings. So, but again, that's my point. Right.
I'm sorry.
Bobby Downey Jr.
Who's your acting coach? The Minions. I feel we were missing key plot points. If you watch the movie with subtitles, you actually a lot of what Gambit's saying is critical to the plot.
But when he's talking about important stuff, you can understand them. It's only when he's just sort of just waxing philosophical that it's hard to make out.
I know, I came out of my dad.
What about Deadpool? Is Deadpool going to be around? Is Wolverine's one of the big questions? Is he going to be in it? Because
no, if his name wasn't in the list, then probably not.
Well, but they want something to be a surprise. Try and keep a few things on the down low. And it's just a thing of, if Wolverine's not there, that's fine, but it's a question. It's like, why is Wolverine not there?
Yeah. When it seems mutant heavy, why not bring him back? But I mean, because Stuart's jacked, man, just can't get a break, man.
But yeah, it's like Deadpool said, we're gonna have him do it till he's 90. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I would actually rather there's no Wolverine, because he's too popular. Someone made a good point years ago, actually. I think it was the first Avengers film they were on about. It's kind of a good thing that there's no X-Men involved, because they might have been tempted to just make Wolverine like the main character in Avengers.
You got to avoid.
I'm not saying they definitely would have, but there would have been that risk. So that's a potential risk if he is in it. Is will they make it too Wolverine centric? But at this point, they've made enough. They kind of know how to do it. I don't think they would. I don't think it'd be an issue. I think it'd just be another.
Just with the way Avengers is just now, it's I think the temptation would be there, and probably better just to avoid it in general.
Yeah.
What's that fucking plan?
But it's, I mean, we're talking about it. That I've marked my calendar already for going to see it, so as far as creating a buzz, it's done that at least.
May 26th.
Yeah, May 26th. I was saying to you, had we started recording? I don't think we had. That seems quite quick for an Avengers film.
Aye.
With all the CG and all the post-production stuff, that's a little over a year away.
Aye.
And if this is them like filming, yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but that just seems a little bit quick.
What was my axe?
Don't know. The other thing as well is
for
how
the CG again. It's just Disney back to the CG blooming mill.
Yeah.
If as bad as Sony, man, there'll be complaints again.
Yeah. What about Spidey? Has he kind of been distanced from the Avengers with the whole erasing everyone's memory of him and stuff?
Yeah. So again, I don't know if that was to try and appease Sony a wee bit. Not that Sony are doing anything decent with the blooming Spider-Man franchise, but
their spin-off films have been an absolute mess apparently.
They weren't even that bad.
I was going to say I kind of want to see them because I heard mixed things about Craven. The first one I heard was dog shit. Was it Madam Web?
I actually didn't think Madam Web was that bad. You know, I thought there's some good stuff in there. It's got like Uncle Ben as a young man.
Oh right, that's kind of weird.
So I mean, she meets him when he's like, I don't know why he's an EMT, but then it's never really been established what his career path was.
I'm sure in some comic book they will have talked about it, but off the top of my head, I've no idea what he did.
Oh, he's an electrician in like the Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Verse, isn't he? Or
I'm just saying I've not read as many Spider-Man books as I have like Batman say, but I'd like to think I kind of know my stuff.
You fucker.
And off the top of my head, I don't know what his job was.
Nugget.
I don't know what his job was.
What?
That's kind of cool.
Fucking twat me, you fucking cunt.
I feel bad for Aaron Taylor-Johnson as well because I think he's really good.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good actor.
He's had really bad luck with things. Kick-Ass 3 never got made because everyone pirated Kick-Ass 3.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and now Craven, that's...
He dies. Is Quicksilver as well?
Yeah, Craven's been binned. I think him dying as Quicksilver, I think that was kind of sort of to appease Fox at the time because you know they had Quicksilver in the X-Men films.
Yeah.
I think it was like one of those things we don't want to confuse people, that type of stuff.
It's not a bad idea either because Quicksilver can be quite OP. You know.
Depends how you write them.
Yeah.
You know? There's times where he's so weak, it's like Iceman just makes him slip on ice and he's finished. And then there's other times where he seems to have almost universe level breaking speed.
He's like the Flash. Yeah, exactly. He can like run through realities and shit.
Wanda's the worst because it's like remember that old really badly animated X-Men cartoon on 3 Online Games? It was like, I miss it when her powers just caused general bad luck. She's just like, stop, don't come any closer, and it's like a box of tacks like falls on Cyclops or something like that. He's like, ow. And then that's just it. Whereas now she can like rearrange universes and stuff like that.
She was a good character to include. So it was good to keep her because we hadn't seen like too much magic and she fits in kind of well.
Did you watch WandaVision?
Yeah.
It starts off really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't end badly in my opinion. It ends like every other Marvel, movie towards the end. Whereas like the early goings on, you're like, nah, this is bizarre. I don't know what they're gonna do here. It was really interesting.
It was the right one to do as a TV show. The rest of them
true.
Don't necessarily need to be TV shows. They could have been, I don't know, like I suppose if they were movies, they would have been shit movies. So I mean that's the argument. It's like, well, if they're shit, then why do them at all?
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with Daredevil?
I'm up to date with Daredevil. I don't know if you've watched it.
Has it been good?
Mad Cuck fucking Kingpin isn't my favourite thing.
Right.
But Cuck Kingpin kind of got his revenge.
Right.
Against the fucking man who fucked his wife.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I guess that's something, but I don't like it.
Oh, so I was catching up on Batman, the comics, a wee while ago. Damn near threw my iPad out the window. I was reading it illegally, and I'm glad I was reading it illegally. Only joking, no, I wasn't, obviously. Cough, cough. Right, so
What about your brother?
Jimmy Gordon has been pumping the mayor's wife, and you're like that. Why?
Yeah.
That's just gross, but okay. Jimmy Gordon's about 80 at this point, but anyway, right. So he's been. Turns out I thought he was cheating on his wife, but turns out his wife's been dead for years, and I'm like, well, they glazed over that. I don't remember that happening, but a lot happens in these freaking books. So anyway, so he's pumping the mayor's wife, and then it turns out, this is a big spoiler, but it turns out he shot the mayor and killed him, and I was like, this better be, you know, if this is like the facts and this is where they're going with it, I'm never reading Batman ever again, because they've been systematically. I've read a few interviews with the writers, and they want to take people off their pedestals, right? You know Nightwing's dad? Nightwing's dad was cheating on his mom, and now Nightwing has I believe she's half Chinese, half sister. So Nightwing's meant to be something like 22, because they've like de-aged everybody again. So he's 22, this is his younger sister, and she's the mayor of Bloodhaven. And I'm like, so what is she, like 19? And she's the mayor?
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it, it's the DC universe, weird stuff happens, but at least acknowledge, like, oh, youngest mayor in Bloodhaven history, something like that. Nah, she's just never mentioned. Just
I'd say typical.
She's just that magnificent. So it's just a bit weird and a bit gross. It's like you never. God forbid Nightwing could just have nice parents, and their deaths were a tragedy, and.
I know, because that sucks.
Yeah. Had to knock him off that pedestal that freaking John Grayson was on, you know. So he was cheating on his mom the whole time, right? So they've done this story, is my point, right? They did it like a year or two ago with Nightwing. I hated it then and I hate it now, right? But there's a guy comes up in Batman, there's a guy comes up and claims to be a long lost Wayne brother. Claims he's Bruce Wayne's brother. And you're like, nah, this will just be like a load of pish. But then, not. He goes to speak to Leslie Tompkins, you know, the old doctor lady.
Oh yeah.
And she just goes, oh, I never wanted to say, but your dad was cheating on your mom with a nurse at the hospital. He could be your brother, and you're like, you've never thought about mentioning that. And again, and the writers have said like, oh, we want to knock people off their pedestals, and I'm like, why is it just all these straight white men you want to knock off fucking pedestals? Yeah, none of them can just be decent guys.
But not just that. Dick Grayson was actually often characterised quite positively, and rightfully so, because he's a likeable guy. Because he defies Batman's kind of dark brooding principle, and actually is a paragon for like how to cope with grief, not descending into a pure, you know, depending on what Batman you want to take after. If you want to go like Frank Miller style, where it's a war and he's recruiting these kids, and cause that's become really popular, I felt. Especially in like the DC animated movies, is the Batman is always like just this really bitter, miserable, you know. But it's been popular for a while, so they've kind of stuck with it. I feel.
Well, I mean, like the whole Dick Grayson really didn't need a half sister.
Well, he did,
but
she needs to be Asian.
Well, exactly. It's like
and developmentally disabled, and
probably. She has like she has an African American female bodyguard as well, who
I'm sure kicks everyone's ass.
No, I'm sure they don't ever like fight, but sort of he implies in narration like, oh, I reckon she could take me, and you're like, fuck off. No, she couldn't. You know, Nightwing's meant to be probably top 10 best fighters in the world. You know what I mean? He's not just a guy who knows karate. He's like,
He's Batman's like understudy.
He's he's borderline. You would consider like meta-human in terms of his athletic abilities and all that shit. Been trained by Batman. Been trained by Lady Shiva. Been trained by I think Ra's al Ghul, but I might be making that up. Point is, years, an entire life of dedication, generations of frankly pretty weird selective reading, which is actually in part of the backstory. You know the Court of Owls?
I'm sure.
The Court of Owls used to get a bunch of their talons are basically like people that have been kind of like cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, did they not imply that Dick was going to be he was a candidate or something?
Yeah, he was like a candidate to be the next one. He didn't know it or anything like that, but yeah, he was. So that's the point, is he's from a family of basic borderline genetic freaks. That's why they're circus acrobats. My point is, Nightwing's an excellent fighter, so fuck off with your just strong, silent female bodyguard could kick his ass. No, she couldn't. Fuck off. Again, it's like, oh well, they made up a new. You know, it's like writers can do whatever they want, and I'm like, well, all right, but again,
respect the canon. And
you're mugging me off for paying attention here, for paying attention and for getting invested in a character you want me to get invested in. So yeah, I'm jumping around a little bit, but there was Edward Nygma. Edward Nygma starts a tech company,
face,
right?
You dumb shit. Oh, that's a clever premise. I
Yeah,
kind of like that.
So
why did he never do that before? That's actually genius.
he actually says that at one point. He's like, I'm fed up trying to prove I'm smarter than you. I'll just be smarter than you.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea.
Just the last bit of this little rant is Batman basically shites it from his female bodyguard, who's a big fat bitch with pink dyed hair,
right,
and shaved at the sides, and I'm like, get fucked. So just your Tumblr lesbians you can appease your Tumblr lesbians so they feel represented, quote unquote, in this book, and those people. I mean, I'm obviously massively generalising there, but it's these people that are like, I want to feel represented in a book I don't read and never have read and never will read. So why? And anyway, and again, Batman could kick Nightwing's ass, and I've just went on a massive rant about how Nightwing's this world class freak athlete fighter guy, and at least at this point in the kind of in their lives, Batman would kick Nightwing's ass. So you're like,
this is a trap.
I mean, again, it's not. They don't have a fight, and she beats him up. But if that happened, I would write a letter. That's how serious I would be. I would write a letter to DC. But yeah, just him sort of shiting it and being all cautious. It's like he wouldn't even need to look up, and he could choke this woman out if he had to. But anyway, right, point is, yeah. So James Gordon shot the mayor after he'd been banging the mayor's wife, and you're just like, what the fuck? They kind of got me though, and I was glad to have been fooled. So the thing is they've been tearing down all these characters that you're supposed to look up to. That's the whole point, or not the whole point, but one of the points. And they've been tearing them all down and knocking them off their pedestals. So I believed it. I was like, all right, well, I guess they're just gonna do an absolute character assassination on James Gordon. I guess it's his turn. Turns out he was mind controlled by the Mad Hatter at the time. But even that, they imply that they leave it ambiguous about whether or not he was still being mind controlled. You know what I mean?
During the pumping.
No. The pumping was purely consensual.
Where is that wee thing?
The shooting the mayor part, they leave it ambiguous about whether it was, he was still being mind controlled or not. And I'm like, fuck you. But yeah. So long story short, Batman, proves he's innocent or what have you, and he gets let out, and he runs into the mayor's wife, Mrs. Nicano, she's called. He runs into Mrs. Nicano, and he's like, Batman sorted it for me. I'm innocent, I didn't shoot him, type of thing. She's like, how dare you be happy? My son no longer has a father because of you. She's like, you still went there, it's still your fault and all this. And he sits down and hangs his head in shame and says nothing. And I'm like,
hang on.
Don't you? She's got a point there. Her son doesn't have a father now. Partly, I'll grant you, partly Jimmy's fault, but you know whose fault it definitely is? Yours. You were the one cheating on your husband the whole time. You weren't thinking about your son then, were you? You know what I mean? I'm like, you're like, what am I meant to get from this? Am I meant to sit there and... Because the way it's written, the way it's framed is as if like, you're supposed to be like, oh, she's so right. James going, what's the matter with you? It's like, she was the one shagging him. She was the one cheating on her husband. This is all her fault.
Come on, we're making good time.
I mean, am I crazy there, or...?
Problem is that it's a continual pattern of it that we're seeing in all this different media.
Yeah,
I'm getting
that's
bored
what I'm
of
saying. I'm bored of it. It's just...
I said to you before that the Peach in the Super Mario movie, for me, would have been amazing if they just like made her like retarded.
Like tripping over her own feet, absolutely hopeless.
Like stuck in a closet, like just can barely like tie her own shoes.
Someone like her dress blows up in her face. She's like,
"Help me, Mario!"
Who turned out the lights? You know,
exactly.
and everything, all that stuff.
Because they're just so afraid of doing it.
Yeah.
That it'd be just so refreshing.
It would.
And funny, because Peach is, Peach is dumb as a bag of sand in Mario. You know.
She I don't actually, you don't really know, because she's always kidnapped.
Well, aye.
So she's had a few games of her own now, and I'm actually all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Her having her games. You know what else I'd have been up for? See if instead of making a Super Mario Brothers movie, they just went fuck you and made a Princess Peach movie. I'd have found that hilarious, actually, in all honesty. I'd have been like, now that's a bold move, and I'd have gave it a chance. I would have treated it on its own merits. I think that could have been hilarious, but having her be a boss lady in the Mario film, it almost ruined it for me. That's how annoying she was. But what was I saying before that? She's had a few games now, and she can be competent. But again, it's context sensitive, and she doesn't really get kidnapped so much anymore. It's usually more Bowser does something else, and she kind of goes along for the ride. But she's sort of earned that in the games. You know, she's getting kidnapped for 20 plus years.
She paid her dues, aye.
She's like, now she's paying attention. She's like, right, I'm not getting kidnapped anymore. And you're like, right, good for you, Peach. You've paid attention. You've learned. All this stuff about, I passed it first try, the assault course, all that type of stuff. You're like, she can drive a car, even though she's never seen a car before in her life, but she can drive it like a pro. You know, all this. It's just annoying. That's why I'm making a video on X-Men Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making a video
on you hated it that much.
How much I hate it. And it's largely to do with Jean Grey. I went back and I read the original, like the first ever issue of X-Men, and I really, really like Jean in it. Now, it is kind of out of date. In fact, it's very out of date, because she shows up. She shows up, and all the boys are basically just like, oh, she's so hot, and it's creepy, right? But the thing about it is Beast like goes and puts his arm around her or something like that, and he's being a bit of a creep in the original version, right? So she picks him up with her psychic powers and throws him across the room.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm on her side there. I'm like, yeah, good for you. He was being a creep, and you're like, you know, hands off the merchandise type of thing. So she's justified there. I'm on her side. Good for Eugene. And in Season 1, you know, in the updated origin story, she's just a bitch to everyone for no reason. And it's I could maybe give a pass if later on in the book she's kind of like, oh man, I was kind of out of line there. But no.
Shut up, Iceman.
They frame it as she was correct. I gave you the example about, so she goes in, she's already been in the danger room at this point. She's been around for, I think, 3 weeks at this point. Mm-hmm. She knows what the danger room is. She's been in there. She wanders into a room called the fucking danger room while Cyclops is in the middle of like a workout. And it's the giant dragon. And he hits stop and he falls 20 feet and fractures his sacroiliac or whatever. And she storms out and calls him a jerk. And then later on he apologises. She goes, yeah, you were on the wrong. I'm like, if there she'd have been like, well, thank you for apologising. I shouldn't have
barged in, exactly that.
Again, like, fine. Emotions, whatever. Now she's being a bit more level-headed. But she's like, it's framed in that way of like, yeah, Scott Summers was totally in the wrong there. What an arsehole. And then it jumps forward and she fancies him. And you're like, where did that come from? It just comes out of nowhere. So yeah,
Whoops.
I don't like. She's not even been on the team a month, and she's talking smack to Professor X, telling him we should how this mission's gonna go and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I wouldn't feel confident bossing about a 5-a-side team after 3 weeks, but she's gonna act as if she's a pure expert in superhuman combat after 3 weeks. And it was just funny the differences between the original origin story and this updated one. Because in the original origin story, so when they're fighting Magneto at the Navy base, she's up for it. She wants to be part of the fight. And they actually, in the original, they end up getting the better of him. He kind of flees. I mean,
Fucking this cunt up.
beating the shit out of him.
He's trying to transform, and I'm just constantly like punching his fucking cunt in.
Fucking stupid, alter beast looking Wolverine wannabe and Daphne. So yeah, it was weird how, and on a second read, it's just stuff where I'm like, wait a minute. Magneto is on the boat flying away, and then Angel goes like that. Let's chase him, and you're like, are they just idiots? Did they just stand about for 5 minutes while he flies away, and then they go, oh wait a minute, we should chase after him?
Get him.
You know, what? It's really. I don't know if it was like a miscommunication between the artist and the writer, but it's really jarring. So yeah, I'm making a full video essay about it. I was writing it. I was finishing off writing it today. I'll record it probably tomorrow.
Alas, nor me told. It was in our way.
So yeah,
I don't doubt it.
how did I even get on that big
What's she
tangent?
doing here?
Sort of.
Batman was pissing me off basically. Nightwing's been pissing me off for ages.
Neathhope protects the tree's roots wherever they are.
Why are we talking about me, Tom?
Odin used her.
And she unwittingly paid the price.
Why is its neck still red?
Is that big serpent thing you killed?
I just wonder why its neck's still red. I suppose Blades of Chaos, magic, whatever.
Aye, kept it deep, I suppose. The other thing was Did I talk about this already with Magneto and it's hard to update his origin story and stuff like that?
No, but we kind of briefly touched on it maybe last time.
Well, it was just the whole...
Because of the age of him, basically.
Yeah,
it's harder and harder to convince you that he was in World War II.
Yeah.
Because he would be like 80 now.
Well, older. I mean, if we lowball it, let's say he was born in, I don't know, 1940.
Aye, so he was a baby.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, but the thing is if you can remember
should be 85.
If you can remember World War II, you start getting memories about age 4.
Aye, so he had to be maybe. Aye.
So that's what I'm saying. Absolute latest.
So he'd be 90.
1940. So he's.
But you made the point, which was actually quite a clever one, is that it could be part of his mutation.
So just chuck in at age slower. What's that got to do with magnetism? Nothing, but you know.
Well, what did magnetism have to do with anything?
No, I'm just saying why is that part of his?
Yeah, no,
mutant powers, but
it kind of tracks magnetism, gravity. You know, your age is almost contingent upon gravity, how much your body wears out.
Is it?
They say we would live longer if we lived in space because the gravity's not impacting our bodies, wearing us out so much.
Yeah. Isn't it something to do with telomeres in your body being cut as you age?
Yeah.
But apparently sensory deprivation chambers have been proven to lengthen your telomeres, which is fascinating. But anyway, I'm just saying, he's a mutant, you can just chuck that power in there,
Yeah, he won't have like Wolverine level of slow.
Yeah.
He doesn't need Wolverine levels of slow age, but oft. What'd you come for?
It's an easy fix, is my point.
Oh, hello.
Oh, there he's there. Been looking forward to this.
Oh, you're about to see who's an idiot, mate.
Oh. If it isn't Queen Mistletoe herself. Hilarious, by the way. Been a while.
He's a butthead, so I've been looking forward to seeing him get smashed.
And you
What do you want to pop at him?
must be the little
He's one shot, and if I get ruined, then
lucky day.
I'll trade it back.
I'll talk about Hellboy while you pick a fight with him. Because I watched the new Hellboy, The Crooked Man. I actually wanted to buy it on like DVD because I was like, it's not going to come out anywhere. But then Borderlands also came out. Borderlands isn't that bad a movie either. Borderlands was getting slated. It's perfectly watchable. It's just not like I don't think the Borderlands games are that good, but Hellboy anyway it's done like a sort of like Blair Witch almost style like horror, like maybe not just the Blair Witch, but like
found footage, you mean?
kind of, it's like old school horror films where it's very jarring and it's like combining realistic footage, so like a real crow with like a bit of CG to make it seem like the crow is picking someone apart. I mean, one of the weirdest cameos in it, because I know you asked me who's in it, and I said no one. Actually, I remember who's in it.
I basically meant, is it Ron Perlman as Hellboy?
Well, it's not. It's not Ron Perlman, and so it's about him and this Asian woman cutting about, getting at Yas, and yeah, it's all about witches basically.
Yeah.
So the Crooked Man is kind of like this demonic guy. He sold weapons during like the Civil War to both sides, and then kind of it didn't work on him. That's weird.
That sucks.
And then he sold his soul to come back to life, and now he's earning back like a penny a soul he gives to the devil.
Okay.
So eventually he'll be rich again. I was like, that's kind of cool. And he's got this whole witch commune. And it's just there's some weird stuff.
There's people that say Jeff Bezos, when he goes to hell, he's going to have to like earn all the money he had in real life working like minimum wage. But like the amount of time
that's
that'll
his
be
purgatory.
His punishment in hell.
I think that would actually be a good payment, but
anyway.
but there's some good ideas in it. But like I kind of said to you, there's some weird just basic editing errors, and like it's not clear what they're saying.
Aye, that's unforgivable in my opinion.
There's no subtitle option either, which again I don't know if that's just from Prime kind of going, no, if you want the subtitles, buy the DVD, or if it's genuinely
I think it is, because one or two things I've watched on Prime with subtitles, they're clearly automated subtitles.
Yeah, aye.
Because they're wrong in a lot of places.
Okay, aye. But it was they speak with like a really Southern American swamp accent.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, look at you here. That's a terrible version, but down by the bayou.
Now we need to fight him. So what am I meant to do?
You need to spear him.
Come on, fight me.
Throw spears at his feet and then explode them.
Okay.
You expected the stick to give you an
There you go.
Whoa!
Oh, he's clever. Oh.
Well, I only need about 40 billion more of those little spear hits and then I'll have him, I suppose.
It is immensely satisfying.
Aye, but you'll trick him again. He just needs to step on it. Maybe a few more explodies.
Alright, at the same time?
Nah, just even one at a time. You just have to catch him off guard. He'll wander into it because he's a dumbass. Keep him brushing himself off, that prick. Ah, see that, did you? Go on.
Sweep the leg, Kratos.
And the suit he's wearing. So I mean the makeup looks okay. I don't know if Ron Perlman had a bit of CG as well with Hellboy.
Aye, maybe.
That kind of helps smooth the edges a wee bit, but this guy had none. So he looks more realistic, but he's meant to be a younger version of Hellboy.
Uh-huh.
And he doesn't look it, he looks older, because this is meant to be 1960s, 1970s. So it's there's no, which is a good idea, because it means there's no mobiles, there's no sort of...
Aye.
You
can get away with certain things in the script.
Aye. But Jeffrey from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's in it.
Oh.
He plays a blind priest, and I was like, what a random fucking cameo. But I loved it. Oh.
Back to the jaw.
You actually hit me.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Slow down. Oh, I don't remember the last time anyone hit me.
Hit me, baby, one more time. I don't know about you, but I like that Tenacious D version of that song.
I'm not familiar with it.
You've not heard the Tenacious D version of Hit Me Baby One More Time?
I have not.
My loneliness is killing me, and I... Well, Hit Me Baby One More Time, but it's Jack Black, you know. Oh, here we go. Plugged. Plug.
Oh, absolutely stabbed.
Yep.
Speaking of stabbed, fuck.
I can't decide if I'm more surprised or
I started watching that show, Adolescence,
Oh,
the
you-
Netflix one.
Okay, aye.
I mean, I've only watched the first one so far, but I would very much recommend it actually. It's filmed in like one take, or it looks like it's filmed in one take anyway,
Okay.
which has pros and cons of its own. It's technically it's very impressive, right? But I mean, I don't really watch. It doesn't make or break a program on whether it's freaking technically impressive for me anyway. So right, the pros and cons of that. So it's like, it's a wee, do you know what it's about? It's like a wee guy getting arrested because he's accused of murdering somebody.
Yeah.
So they take him to the police station and they run through all the stuff, and it's getting celebrated because it's like realistic. It's what they like put them through. You know, they take bloods and they need to like search them and all that stuff.
Alright.
The problem with that is some of it's very boring.
Aye. It's like police protocol and...
Yeah.
It's like...
And so it doesn't cut away for the boring parts. You see all of them, which is, and on the one hand, it makes, when they search them, it makes that very, very good because it doesn't cut away. If that makes sense.
Aye, you're sort of stuck in amongst it.
Because it's really uncomfortable because he's 13 and they're basically strip searching him.
Oh, Jesus.
So you're kind of like, I see how that's dead like uncomfortable basically. So it has that going for it, but at the same time they fingerprint him and they take bloods and all that, and you're like, this is so boring. There's a reason they cut this out in films. It's not interesting.
Yeah, they're filling out all the paperwork and
Yeah.
I need to go take a shit.
Yeah.
Just
So
sitting.
like, the other problem is it's a bit contrived the way somebody just so happens to walk past at the perfect moment to like they take over. You know what I mean? Like the camera starts following them. Everyone's like perfectly sort of in sync, and like it's not a good thing or a bad thing. For me, I'm a wee bit like, oh, come on.
No.
It's trying to be realistic and it's a bit contrived when you do that. But at the same time, it is quite nifty the way that it just the timing's just perfect for the camera to just go whoop and join this next person as they walk and go do what they're doing. So we're gonna kill him or not? But yeah, so far I would recommend it. Give it a watch. I really think it's worth your time.
Is it explained the emojis yet? Because they say that's what it's all about. It's all about like emojis and what kids are messaging each other. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. Just blow his arm off.
They've not touched on that.
Damn.
Watch it with Amanda as well, actually,
Okay.
because I'd like to hear her thoughts on it as well. I think you would have a good conversation about
Well, because
it.
Ethan's that sort of age, I think it will be quite jarring watching a show like that.
There's been no emojis yet, but they've touched on you and this lassie were messaging on Instagram and stuff like that, so maybe... Well, I'll see how it develops.
Oh.
The only other thing as well is the wee guy in it is not a bad actor. He's actually quite a good actor, but he's the wrong type of actor. If that makes sense. Again, everybody else is playing it very sort of like trying to be realistic. He's playing it like sort of dramatic, if that makes sense. Like you can hear his acting coach talking in his ear basically, saying like, you need to sell it more type of thing.
Woofed.
And it's a bit jarring because everybody else is playing it as as realistic as possible. They're not kind of overacting.
Oh, well, that guy, he's quite a big actor.
Stephen French.
Aye.
I both like and dislike him because he is very good, but he's also just himself and everything.
Yeah, aye.
It might be because of his accent, to be honest. You know, he's got quite that strong Scouse accent.
Oopsie poopsie.
Dodge that. Shut up. Dodge.
He's doing that thing that little boys do where they power up their punch and then run with it. Oh, you're gonna assume traitor. I see what I mean. He runs up with my fist. There's a bit of a delay. I think he punched fuck at her.
But she's a strong woman. One punch will take her down. That's sexist. I like that. I'm against it. I'm gonna go complain on Twitter.
Oh no. I like the way he just runs at you as mad fist. Uh-oh. Double shield, shield.
Oh, Jobby. I didn't know what that meant. How'd you shoot?
Double tap the L1.
Jobby near my bot, he's going to kill me. I'm nearly dead.
Oh.
Are you serious? Did you see how much health that gave me?
Well, aye. It's not going to be a full restore. Uh-oh. Okay, you did something slightly different, but it's fine. It seemed to work.
Oh, butt cheeks near my ass.
I think you were defending though. I feel like that was a bit...
I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Right, you finish him.
I'll finish him.
I got through the first two
to be fair,
stages.
You
I feel I'm alright.
And to be fair, because you've only really got the spear, there isn't... there's not as much of the cheating that I can do. I will probably struggle with him a bit more than some of the others we've fought. Because I can't just pure pummel him with like other runes.
Yeah.
I have to spear fight him. I see, man, there's no prompt. Fuck you.
Ancient runes. That's one of Hermione's subjects in Harry Potter. Anywho. So Adolescence, so far I'd say give it a look. I saw some bullshit headline about toxic femininity or something like that in it. So far there's only been about 2 female characters and they both only had about 1 line each, so I don't really... Again, I've only watched the first episode, but I'm a bit baffled where that's came from. I think the main sort of detective guy in it, I think, so the thing is he's got like pure massive arms and like all veiny, but he's got a sort of beer belly. And
so he's only been on bulk season for this?
Maybe, but I'm wondering if the actor has got like a sort of almost like a fake, like a fat suit on, like around the waist.
Alright, so
he might not, you might be right, he might just have a bit of a beer gut, but it's just weird because he looks like quite sort of in shape, but then with a beer belly, so it's weird.
Yeah, it is.
He's got gold teeth. Oh, he's dead.
Whoopsie!
It's happening all over again.
Every time I go out for a walk in the woods, this happens. Come across some cunt who wants a fucking piece. Just leave.
So what happens if you kill Mimir? Mimir. What happens if you kill Heimdall? Because he controls the Bifrost or whatever. How's that going to destroy... how's that going to affect Scandinavia?
I'm going to find out.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be bad, but specifically...
Poof. Have that. Take that. Oh wow. How did that catch on fire? But again, there's nothing dramatic I feel about the fight with Heimdall. And that's probably, again, the only issue with like why I can see people accusing this of being DLC is that it's just you fighting a guy. It's not like, you know, when you're fighting like some of the more creative like gods in like God of War 3. You know, Hercules, and you kind of get a weapon from him, and there's a lot going on. Come on,
you got his wee horn.
His wee horn doesn't do anything though.
Why was that? Oh, who's that? Is that Trey?
I don't know. Oh yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know, man. He must have got caught up in something while I was away. I'm kind of stuck in like a.
Why are you so casual right now, young man? You've got a lot
I
of
said there was a weird
experience.
glitch there. I was hitting square. I mean, to be fair, I've caught these guys and I had time warp. Come on, get to fuck. Come on, the parries. I think it's because the pair of them are on screen that's doing something funky as well. It's fuck you.
Well, it must be a lot of computation.
Ugh. No, but I can't. Fucking smash the green thing. Genius. Right. Gimme. Come here, you stupid shit.
Fool! You foolish fool!
Skadoosh. Sorry. Just having to concentrate now. This game's been ass. It just made me fight Heimdall and now it's making me like fight for my life.
Other than that, I've been watching Idiot Abroad again.
No, I've never watched it, do you know?
Oh, it's top 10 TV shows ever for me. I
Wow.
love it. Well, season 1 definitely. Series 2 is
Oh, you little bitch.
a bit worse, but not.
You were just about to die as well.
Season 2 is a bit worse, but I mean, that's just because season 1 set such a high standard. And then season 3 is amazing, but it's way shorter. It's only like 2 episodes, I think. 3 episodes. It's all on YouTube. I'll send you a link if you want.
Get away from me.
So it's like, you might as well just watch it on YouTube. Yeah, so I mean, you know the premise, it's just Mad Carl and he gets sent around the world. And shenanigans ensue. They went on and did The Morning of Life after that, and The Morning of Life is still worth a watch, but it's the problem with The Morning of Life is by that point Carl had some leeway. So like in An Idiot Abroad, it's like he's miserable all the time, and that's way funnier.
That's part of the appeal into it.
Yeah, he's hilarious when he's like
When he's
unhappy,
made to
basically.
suffer, yeah.
Whereas by the time they did Morning of Life, it's just little things. He's still doing interesting stuff, and you're still seeing parts of the world you wouldn't see otherwise. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, he's more sort of
He's on board. And
he's more genuinely inquisitive about it. Whereas Idiot Abroad, he's like, get me out of here. He just doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't appreciate the wonder he's actually a part of.
Because to be fair, it's like he goes to see Machu Picchu, and it's an 11-hour trek.
Fuck you.
So by the time he gets there, he's exhausted, and he's like, I just want to go home.
What's the point in this? Exactly.
And you're like, I mean, you probably, to a certain extent, anyway, you would feel that way after an 11-hour trek. And again, Morning of Life, it's just little things like you see one of the hotel rooms he's staying in, and it's not like your 5-star luxury or whatever, but it's decent. Whereas in An Idiot Abroad, they're giving, like he does the Trans-Siberian Express.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it goes all the way, it goes like a quarter of the world, I think. It's, you know, it's days and days you're on a train for, and they get him.
Fuck you again.
They get him a bed in 3rd class, and it's literally just a shelf.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So he's quite tall. I think he's about like 6 foot.
Is he?
He's about 6 foot. He's not.
He's
So not
deceptively tall. Aye.
Not crazy tall, but like, you know, maybe slightly above average. So he's on this shelf for a bed, and like, you know, like his legs are hanging off the end, type of thing. So he's just like, what even is this? And there's people just getting wrecked like 24/7, playing the accordion and all this stuff because it's 3rd class, so they just don't care. They're doing what they want. He's just sitting there like miserable, no sleep, but everything else. And then they go and they try and get him on a zero gravity flight and stuff like that. So, they have him do that. You know that test they have astronauts do, where they put you in like the sort of the little ball at the end of the massive arm and it spins you around.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, they have him like do that and everything else, and you know, he's not slept in like 3 days. He's just like, I thought this was. He's like, number one, why am I here? And he's like, I thought, but when I saw this in James Bond, it looked way safer.
Get away from me.
So yeah, highly recommended show.
That was quite cool.
Yeah, she's quite nifty.
Whoopsie. I was really behind on that prompt there.
I'm the train. You okay? Alright. No. Just hold on.
That's it.
Oh, volleyed.
I say this is good because this is different.
What happens if you miss a prompt though?
Probably just drop him. And I get it's things like this small merry band. Like I don't believe they're fighting all of Odin's forces. You know, where's the army? Where's the army I'm supposed to lead?
I still don't really get what their issue with Odin is.
What's the beef?
Is it explained? I mean,
That won't hold them for long.
Well, you kind of get Freya's beef, like you sort of trapped her in Midgard. But yeah, some of the others it's a bit mafia. Aye.
why does Kratos not like Odin even?
It's complicated. Well, yeah, I suppose Odin gives you all the outs, and you're just kind of like, no, we just want to fight. I suppose Odin just won't leave him alone. That's part of it. So he's trying to use Atreus to find the mask.
Yeah.
But then
I get that, but before that,
there's no twist behind that either. Like the mask is so he can look in that realm shift without his face melting. Like it's, you know, he just wants to know what's in there basically.
right?
It's not like the mask gives him like pure unlimited godlike power.
Yeah.
At least from memory, that's not the case. You know, it's not like some pure fucking double bluff.
It's not a Tertian Oculus or anything like that.
Tertian Oculus. Fuck me. There's 3 Tertian Oculus.
Oculi.
Oculi.
Yeah, that was weird. Don't know if I like that or not. Because I don't know. It's just a bit weird. How long have they been sitting there then? Does she not even know how powerful they are then? I don't know. That whole last episode of Dragonball Daima was just weird because it's so well animated.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And not, I mean, the rest of the show I didn't think was badly animated, but I was just kind of like, where did this come from?
I liked some of the fluid movements, even when Goku's just kind of fighting in like the bar early on.
Yeah. The animation wasn't bad throughout, but it just it seemed to just really up the level for like the last episode for some reason.
It's I suppose it depends on what mood you're in, whether you like that smooth fluid movement or if you prefer it's the big man himself. Oh, is it? Isn't it? Or if you prefer like I'm trying to think when is he doing like the instant transmission, like quick rapid. It's not the fight with Cell. The fight with Cell's awesome because he's got instant transmission and he just pulls it out right as he's about to launch a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
But there's a fight where he's using instant transmission. It's probably Boo. Could even be just him against Vegeta where he's like transmissioning like really quick around him.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Maybe that was Kid Buu. Because I don't really remember that fight in general all that well. I think it was just because the Buu saga in general is a bit of a mess. This is the other thing with Daima. Daima could have been a way to kind of not really fix the Buu arc, but one of the problems people have with the Buu arc is see all the memorable moments, Super Saiyan 3, Fusion, all that stuff, it never actually like saves the day. That's why a lot of people like Super Saiyan 3 is kind of a meme at this point because it's just useless. No, he doesn't defeat anyone. Well, the film where he beats Hirudegarn or whatever it's called, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So Super Saiyan 3 never actually defeats anybody, but like in Daima it could have been used, it could have been the form he uses to beat Goma, and then that would have kind of like
I don't get it.
Legitimised it a bit. But instead they did weird Super Saiyan 4. Because maybe I
But then Goku just explains it. Oh, I've been working on it for a while.
I thought the whole thing. I thought it was some weird spell that the Namekian guy sort of did on him.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
The way it was framed, it was like. But then, but the thing about it being subtitled instead of dubbed is it's harder to tell their tone of voice. So is he just bamming Vegeta up there?
Exactly. So, it's tough to tell, and there's always a bit of a mistranslation sometimes.
Yeah, potentially.
Which means that that's not necessarily what he was saying. It's just that
I'm hoping that's the explanation. Is it was some sort because he looks at him and does he not like wink and then like wave his hand or something like that?
So like I could just do it whenever I want, and he's like, no, really. And it's just it's like it would make sense.
No,
for
sorry,
him.
I mean like the Namekian dude.
He does something. He definitely does something. Yeah, no.
So that's why I thought they were going to come out with some variant. Like the fans will still call it Super Saiyan 4, but I thought like the official term would be like demon spell super, some shit like that.
Aye.
And that would be kind of how you get around it again because
the Namekian boosted.
Yeah, it's not
whatever.
just another multiplier of Super Saiyan. It's like a spell. It's kind of like a different. That's why Super Saiyan God was interesting initially because it was like a ritual. It wasn't like a God key's totally different to like normal key.
You don't sense it.
It almost sort of reset the scale in some ways.
It helps with the Goku versus Frieza sort of element.
Goku didn't just do more push-ups. It's like different. It was like a whole different kind of like scale.
Yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, I'm hoping that's the explanation. Is he was just bamming Vegeta up.
That's what I would think. Yeah, I.
You look like you could use it.
But like I say, because you can't really take the tone.
It's harder to interpret tone when you don't speak the language. That's the other thing as well.
Because that's the kind of thing Goku would shit Vegeta up about. He's like, I can do that anytime I want, mate.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta will just be at home, just feel like
standing in the mirror trying to
exactly,
Super Saiyan 4 for years, and obviously it won't work.
Back in that spaceship with him had red fucking gravity.
Yeah.
Just trying to flex into it.
I've said before, but like I really think it was a missed opportunity. It would have been cool to have Yamcha or TN or somebody go with them, and because Goku's been made into a kid, they're roughly the same level of strength. It would have been nice to, because you know what would have been great actually, because if they're doing one of the things that Toriyama wanted to do with it was he kind of missed the quest for Dragon Ball's adventure that was original Dragon Ball. That would have been amazing wee callback if it was like Goku, Bulma and Yamcha again. Krillin even.
Yeah, exactly. We
like a real sort of callback like that. But again, it would make sense if, say, Krillin and Yamcha are still grown-ups and Goku's a kid. So like strength-wise they're kind of closer, and like that would have been fun. But no, it was sort of just another Dragon Ball story after a while. Again, I liked the start. It was like a weird D&D campaign almost. But then it kind of just became sort of standard as it went along. So that was all. It was okay, just didn't blow me away.
I feel like there is a way I'm meant to go, but the game's seemingly leading me down one route and then moaning at me. No, not find that orb yet. Not your fucking orb slave.
Who's she talking to? Clown. Yeah, mad clown, nope. I'm gonna take you a square go. Yeah, mad. Flatter. Totally not been paying attention to any of the lore in this game. I bet it's good as well.
Some's better than others. I can't wait to try out the new... they've just released another skin for this game.
Oh, right.
Celebrating
Cool.
20 years of God of War.
That's awesome.
And I think it's meant to be again hinting to the... Right, I don't care. Hinting to the Egyptian.
Right. How so? What's the new skin like?
I've seen it on like Facebook and stuff. It's hard to describe. I would say Egyptian, but it's not quite as simple as just it's Egyptian.
The thing about that, so like if they do another game, is it gonna be a game like this, as in this sort of control scheme and this general
Aye, or are they going to try and...
layout, or are they? Because obviously the first three, well, there's more than three, but you know, the first three God of War games, like, it's more of a kind of like beat 'em up. Would that be fair to say?
Aye, maybe hack and slash is...
Aye.
a word,
The
but-
controls are way different. It's more sort of combo-y based, and Kratos can like double jump. He's more sort of mobile, if that makes sense. Whereas this one's a bit more
I wanted to tell you.
slow and tanky almost. Not that this is slow, but you get what I mean. So if they're doing like another one, is it going to be this sort of fighting style? Is it going to be this type of game, or is it going to be, who knows, maybe it'll be like a real-time strategy game,
A top-down sort of...
dungeon crawler, explorer game. That'd be kind of fun actually. An almost Tomb Raider style, like going into all the tombs and raiding them and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. But it's Kratos. Because I mean, isn't that the whole thing about Egypt? Is all the tombs got like raided and everybody stole all the money, and well, not money, but like gold and what have you.
Would you want Squirrel Man?
You're here! The tree has become rather overgrown.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
And if it grows too wild, the branches risk getting too heavy and falling, which is not ideal considering they hold all the rounds.
I am no gardener.
What an absolute shock. No, I do not require any horticultural skills from you, but I would ask that you keep an eye open for the stags of the four seasons. They normally graze upon the tree and keep it tidy. Unfortunately, Bitter decided it would be funny to trick Arrogant into releasing them. If you happen to find the stags during your travels, I would greatly appreciate assistance in bringing them home. I would have one of my spectral squirrels do it. They, well,
Can't be fucked.
keep eating the
Spectral
feed I give them.
squirrels.
Consequence of it being the most
What
delicious food in all the 9 rounds, I suppose. Speaking of, here, take some feed.
Fucking Pikachu Pokemon mission from you. Go out and just hunt.
Will guide them back here.
The good thing is, once you've got all these missions going at the same time, it is much easier.
If I was too chicken to release them, but I am in fact not chicken-like whatsoever.
I
So
do
as you
not
can
care.
see, we are off.
What else is
Here we go.
there?
Bag of edge soul leaves. Give him a fucking way, Trace.
Hey, how much is this?
Oh!
Enough.
You talked.
Look at that. You really did it.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
What can you actually do with that horn? What does it do?
Just blow the horn.
And then what happens?
I don't think anything happens.
Do the trick.
Something happens.
Happy
It's how you start.
everybody.
It's how you start Ragnarok.
Oh right, I thought that was how he summoned the Bifrost Bridge or something like that.
Heimdall's dead.
There'll be some element to that.
Believe it.
I honestly can't remember. There's something to do with Surtur. Like you and Trey go off, and we've definitely got one more kind of key boss to kill.
Uh,
I refuse that deal.
I refused your mother.
Yet he honored
What deal?
it. Now.
But what?
I'm confused by.
You and I know better than anyone that Odin's promises never last. We have the advantage now.
We've got the horn.
It's time to bring him down.
Gotta take it and shove it up his
None
ass.
of you understand what's coming. Odin's vengeance will be his only concern.
Not his only concern. The mask. Whatever knowledge it unlocks, that's what Odin wants more than anything.
No, he just wants to see in the realm tear.
I go back to Asgard.
Go
I
back. Go back.
I think you do go back. In fact, you definitely go back to Asgard.
If I can finish what I started there, awaken the mask,
go
get
behind
answers,
his dad's back and do it.
maybe that's our way out of this.
Nah, I'm sure Kratos says no.
But I gotta go soon.
He just does it.
Before they figure out what's happening.
Travis, you are home.
Nah,
Do
but
not ask me to put you to risk again.
He's at risk where he stands, Kratos. We all are.
Well, you're
Anything
not,
we do
because
or don't do is
you don't do
dangerous
anything
right
to you.
yeah,
now. But Odin needs me.
I'm sure we had a wee happy adventure
Trust me.
with Thor.
I'll be safe there.
From here?
No, Atreus.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, when he rips the pub apart trying to kill you.
From
I
us.
don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not happened yet.
Am I wrong?
I don't much
Damn it,
like
I
it,
remember that.
but it is our best play.
Come on, Mimir.
Dividing Odin's focus would buy us time.
And give us a pair of eyes in the enemy's intersector.
But if there is truly a source of infinite knowledge, you can't let Odin have it.
Aye. And once he has what he needs from you,
And I lose my leverage. I get it. I'll be smart.
Yeah, you're not known for being smart.
Father. I can do this.
remember our promise.
You should see the guy that plays Thor in that American Gods program. Well, I'm assuming it's Thor.
Mm-hmm.
He has a giant magical hammer, so I'm like, who else could it be?
Die, right?
Do you remember Prison Break?
Yes.
Remember the sort of older mob boss guy?
I do too.
Yes.
Adabitsi, was that his name? I don't think so. No, it's
No,
it's
Adabitsi's
Oz,
is the black guy for Oz.
Is he? I can't remember his name, but you know do you know the guy? I mean,
I know
he gets shot like dead early in the second series after they've escaped.
He's in Until Dawn.
Is
In
he?
fact, they're making either an Until Dawn TV show or an Until Dawn like movie. I actually quite look forward to it, but he's a key character in that.
I think they should go TV show, and because that's one of those games where you choose what to do.
Yeah.
Next, don't you? They should do a TV show, and they should do each episode is just like they all start the exact same, and it's like, well, this is what would happen if they did this.
Well, that's kind of the premise. Is that they keep dying,
Oh right, well yeah. That's
and they're like, "What are we doing wrong here?" And it's like
they're
the
sort of
choices
living the
we
same
make.
day.
Yeah, it's a Groundhog Day.
No, that's cool though. That could be really good if they do that. Right?
Did you ever play Until Dawn?
No, I was
Oh.
another one of those ones I kept meaning to, and sort of. God, that could be 10 years ago now. That came out.
I mean, it's still pretty good. It's out of that, I'm trying to think. There's like a kind of unofficial trilogy of like there's Until Dawn, there's Fahrenheit, and there's like what's the other one called?
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Is it the same guy that did all three of them?
No, it's not. But I would call them like an unofficial sort of trilogy because they're all the same sort of idea.
They're like playable movies.
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly. Aye, and you pick a choice, and that affects how the story goes.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it Detroit being?
Detroit Become Human is
Is
quite
that the
good
one
as
with
well.
Hank?
Hank is
See one of the cops?
yes.
Or see the robot cop?
No.
Hank, or is Hank the real
Hank's
cop?
the human,
Right. Yes.
and he's played by Lex Luthor.
Yes.
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 He's great.
Not
No.
Kelsey Grammer.
Sorry.
Something. Oh, that's annoying me. What's his name?
Have you played Becoming Human?
Yes.
Aye. So there's a quite a depressing ending you can get with Hank, where like if you keep fucking Hank off, he ends up killing himself.
Oh really?
Oh.
No, we didn't get that one. Can't remember what. The only. Because the main one is the sort of android guy who's fighting for like robot freedom or something, is it not?
Well,
I'm sure we let off like a dirty bomb. Is it in Chicago? That's in
Aye.
Detroit. No,
yeah,
is
it's
it?
Detroit. Aye. Detroit. Yeah.
This is my marble.
Right, aye. I'm sure we let off like a dirty bomb
And where are you gonna
and, you know, killed a bunch of humans, but like us robots could live there still. And I can't remember what happened with Hank. I do think we solved the. No, we were in some sort of base and there was a bunch of other
Once I see this through,
robot police officer guys, and I think one of them ended up shooting us.
They got the drop on you.
I think so, yeah.
That's a shame because it's that there was like one decision near the end that does kind of fuck you.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was like if we'd
If you got it right,
got it
and
right, we
won
would
it,
have been fine. But with that one, because I'm sure we're both sitting going like,
that seems harsh.
is that him then? Is that their ending? And we're like, well, that's shit.
What did you kill him at all? Because you can kill.
I think Hank got shot
Aye.
by one of the other robot police cop
I
guys.
want to say his name was Ethan, but I feel like
I don't think
isn't.
it was.
No.
It was. Oh, what was it?
while I'm away.
But yeah, one of the not clones, but one of the other robot guys shot poor Hank. Is there not 3 stories though?
Yeah, there's the guy who's sort of thrown in the garbage because he's accused of killing his master, is he not? And then he crawls out, and then there's
that's how it starts, is it not?
the woman. No, because it's the woman who's the homemaker, but you find out like she wasn't like
I can't
she was
remember
like
what happened with her.
abused. She's like abused by the man who owns the house.
Yeah.
And she tries to save the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But you know the twist with the daughter.
No.
All right, okay. But you must have if you finished it.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I can't remember.
Oh, you can't remember,
what we
ah,
did
okay.
with her.
Depending where you get with her, you might not have got the twist yet. Or you might
I
not have
don't
got the
know
twist
the
at
game,
all.
It was the X we played it.
It's- I've got it on the library if you want. We can revisit it.
Maybe at some point, but what ending did you get?
So I think I got the decent one with the robot first time. Hank was alive and was my best pal at the end.
Oh, that's nice.
The robot won the freedom of all the robots, so we marched through the streets and we ultimately got our freedom. I think I sacrificed one of the others, so he didn't kill himself for freedom, but he got to live in the free world that was created.
No, we nuked the whole city.
And trying to mind the woman. I if you don't remember the twist, then I won't ruin it. But there's a good twist with the woman and the little girl, and I made it all the way to the end.
In fact,
You'd better go.
with them, can you not like run away, and you're in some house in the snow, and then cops come looking for you?
You kidnapped the little girl.
Yeah.
You don't have to you can end her adventure dead quick because if you don't kidnap the little girl.
Does that just where it stops?
Pretty much. It just ends there. You just sort of have like, right, well, fuck it. Like, she stays with her abusive father, and I think he just fucks your face.
Right, that's gross. But...
Which is why he's taking you from the store in the first place. It's because he's basically a pure like psycho abuser.
Yeah.
There's a movie with Megan Fox that's very like Detroit Become Human, where like.
Is it any good?
I've never watched it, no,
'cause
but I've
I
heard
saw
things
it.
about it where.
I saw it recommended. The problem is there's a. Is it Ex Machina? I think it's called.
Why are you wearing that hat again, Jesus?
He just likes that hat.
It's a weird like.
He's going bald, I guess. I don't know.
It's a weird like nighttime hat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's a real indoor hat in a weird sort of way.
I don't know.
Kind of reminds me of a prison snitch hat as well, but I don't know
Prison
why.
snitch,
Yeah. The problem is that Ex Machina film is very, very good, and it's the same
Is it?
sort of.
Oh, okay.
It's the same. Well, it's a similar sort of setup where she's
I
like
figured out what went wrong.
an android, and her AI sort of starts improving and shit, and she thinks to herself. It's really, really good though. Messes with your head, but in a good way. But artificial intelligence should be left to films and science fiction books, not in real life.
Young man, you've done it again. Go. Take the mask, take the sword, take the bird, find Thor.
There's a
What
bird
bird?
now? Oh, no, it is.
Bird.
You too.
That's weird.
Hey, Ingrid, you wouldn't happen to know where Thor is? Yeah.
There's some mad scary movie. It's a German film where it's basically just that Simpsons episode where Pierce Brosnan becomes their house. Remember they get like it's a Halloween
Simpsons.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically just that. It's like the house has its own AI.
No.
It's like a German film,
I
and
think I know where he might
then
be.
it starts killing them off, I
Follow
think,
me.
or something like that.
I
It came up as recommended, but I don't know. Like
Don't.
horror films in general are hit and miss, and the ones on Netflix, they always sound good when you read the description, but then you like Google reviews for them, and they're all like 2 stars,
Yeah.
and you're just like, that's just not even. If it were half a star, you're like, right now this might be something worth watching in a bad way, but they're all just like too boring, and you're like, well, if it's boring, like, what's the point? It's just. So I watched a film the other night. It was in the horror section recommended. It was called The Lure.
Mm-hmm.
It's in no way, shape or form a horror movie in any sense of the word. I don't know why it's in there. I watched the first half an hour And it was actually,
There'll be plenty of time to get under
on a
his
different
skin.
day, I could see myself getting into it, but on this day I was like, what is this? I don't feel like watching it. It's basically a musical, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all in Polish, so it's all subtitled.
Right.
Weapons
These
aren't
two
all
like
inside.
mermaids
We'll have to check
become strippers, or like singers
Just do it.
/ strippers at a strip club in Poland.
That's
It's
fine.
really weird.
Oh,
I think it's, see, like the original like Brothers Grimm version of the story where like they're human on land, but then they're mermaids in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. So yeah,
Look around.
it
He'll be here.
was weird, but not in a good way. Well, maybe in a good. That's what I'm saying. Like I might give it another try at a later point. But I just was kind of like,
Excuse me more. Exactly. No offense, Trace. Why did you have your hand so far up that dude's chest that I just showed you?
Why is he grabbing for it?
through.
Hmm?
I like how all these guys are like
It's
bald.
fine.
There he
They
is.
claim that's some sort of Asgard thing, but
Thor.
clearly they just want to reuse the character model.
Nah, it's the same character model 7 or 8 times, isn't it?
Bad time, so if you need a moment, I totally understand. No rush, but
Right where I thought you'd be.
You shouldn't be here.
Is he mad with it?
Aye.
You shouldn't have brought her here.
She brought me here?
What are we doing?
Relax.
One way of putting it.
did I say no rush? I meant we should get going, right? We don't want to keep the Allfather.
Quiet!
He's right. You should get going. Dad? Don't do this.
It's already done. Let it be known, the God of Thunder is good for 2 things.
Drinking and...
Killing giants and pissing me! Any man who disagrees will greet Mjolnir with its face.
He's just
This
vile.
isn't you.
Well, it kinda is.
Thor. Eugen is waiting outside. Please, it's just.
I said, quiet, boy.
My name is.
Woofed.
What?
That wasn't me, exactly. Aye.
Aye.
No, I swear that really wasn't. That's enough!
That was quite a shove, right? It sure is there, wasn't it? That guy milked that. He just wanted to knock over his friend's pint there.
You don't need the arrows, just transform into the bear.
Very slammed for that table.
Use my arrows, you prick. Oh, you think you're funny? He was mine. Get him, boy.
Get away from me! This place sucks!
Oh, sword, help me out here. No, stop. This keeps doing like a weird...
This is straight out of a D&D campaign as well, a good old tavern brawl. I swear 90% of D&D campaigns start out in a tavern.
Oh yeah, that's where all the story comes from, isn't it?
That's how your characters all meet. They'll just meet in a tavern.
I was really annoyed, man, trying to restart a D&D campaign.
How?
Just cause asshole friends were like that.
Aye.
Roll for initiative. Just pure wanting to start a fight with me, and I was just like, fuck yous.
Oh, were you-
I was
were you
right to
DMing?
quit. What's that?
Were you DMing?
No, I was returning to a game that we'd kind of left because we'd sort of bit of fatigue with it because they were just constantly pure fucking around. We were never getting any adventuring done. They were always pure splitting the party. Oh, we're going to start a mad, like, fucking brothel and take over this whole town.
Start up small businesses on the side. You're like, what are you talking about?
Exactly, I know, man. Do that in your own time. And they were just always at it. And I mean, he was like, no, I'm just playing my character. And like,
but then you need to start, like, freaking figuring out how the economics of the town work and all this type of crap. You're like, this isn't fun.
exactly.
This is homework now.
It was just work, exactly. And it's like, there's no need. And it was just, two of them were just trying to steal the attention the whole time. And like I say, because they wanted to go off and do their own wee side adventures, again, it was just the fucking two of them show. And of course I was trying to come back to play again. And I was just like, roll for initiative. I was like, the fuck is then? They're basically looking for a fight.
What, like with your character?
I had to pick a fight with my character. Because they assumed that I was there to just start border. Or because they were like, no, you've been gone, you left, like, you're not getting to come back. And again, it's, I'm not playing like myself, I'm playing like what my character would do. I'm like, fuck yous, that's utter garbage. Just an excuse to be fucking wanks. But that was in a tavern, to be fair.
Do you know what I hate? But I've had this a few times where it's people who are not funny but want their character to be the funny one, and it's just really like distracting and awkward because you're like,
you're not naturally funny.
It's not gonna work. See, the thing is, somebody nice could play a character that's like a total dick, because that's just you're playing a character, you can do it. But with being funny, if you're not funny, you can't just say something pure unfunny and be like, no, but all your characters laugh because my character's been funny. It's weird, it doesn't really work that way. It's like no matter what you roll as like your charisma, it is kind of affected by your actual real world charisma there.
And it's, I think that was the problem, is in real world they were just being dicks and enjoyed being dickish. And it's like, yeah, but that's no fun for the rest of us. Because when we first started the campaign, they weren't playing like that. But it's like, the more they were getting into D&D, they were sort of like, no, the way you're meant to play it, you know, they're watching pure, what's that fucking podcast? Crit Roll or whatever.
There's a few.
Oh no, you're meant to play your character to like this and all that. And it was like, oh my god. Just
Is that not
ways.
Metagaming? Is that not a whole thing?
Yeah, just finding ways to be annoying.
Isn't that what Spoonie's whole Counter Monkey series was about? Was kind of issues.
D&D campaigns, was it?
But wasn't it partly about like issues he'd had? 'Cause he had a whole one about like the prisoner dilemma, he called it.
Right.
Like taking prisoners, because it's like then you need to drag them with you everywhere you go.
Right,
you need to feed them. Like in certain games, you need to feed them to keep them alive, and you need to figure out who's doing that. He's like, so just kill them, but then you'll always get folk that are like, oh, my character wouldn't allow that, and it's always just a pain in the arse. So he said, like, it's years since I watched this, but I mean, I'm sure he said, like, in the end, I would always try and avoid, like, any type of prisoner. That's why I call it the prisoner dilemma. Like, if you're doing a campaign, try and avoid that whole situation, because it's always a pain.
It's just, I don't envy people who take on the role of D&D, like Dungeon Masters.
So one bit of advice somebody said was apparently like if they're not doing what you want, and they just open every door and go in every like cover stuff like that, just have them open a door and just go, right, you open the door, there's a beholder there. You know what a beholder is?
No.
You know the cackle demons or whatever they're called from Doom?
Alright, aye.
It's basically one of those.
It's one of the ball things,
you'd sort of recognise it.
I know if
they're really
like
powerful. So like basically just, you know, even if they're all level 1, if they're just pissing you about, they open a door. You open a door and there's a beholder there, everyone roll initiative, and it'll probably just end up killing all of them.
Nice. First
but it
turn.
just sort of is like a case of
stop fucking around or I'm gonna murder you. Just out of spite.
It's the fun of the game is the fact that you can like do so many different things with it, but it is also a case of like,
but you can't just,
well, what's west of the village? The sea. Was there any boats? Can we go like just not the adventures to the east?
Exactly.
Go to the east.
I've told you we're going to the caverns.
We can waste 3, sessions fanning about. And it's like you're even trying
We
to
built
steer
our
them
own
all.
boat, roll
Aye,
for construction or whatever shit.
We find a sailboat.
Dexterity roll.
You're like, there's no wind. It won't sail. They're like, all right, is there any oars? Is there oars? All right,
paddle.
We'll paddle with our hands. Like, just leave it.
Roll
There's nothing
strength.
out there, yeah.
Unless you're rolling nat 20, you go, fuck it, your strength's not enough to fucking push against the tide.
Oh, we were doing an interrogation one time, right? And my character always ended up being the comedy relief. I had a character called Jaxie, so it's Jack mixed with Maxie. He's a character from Soul Calibur.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like a monk, yeah,
Exactly.
But also Jaxie, it's kind of an English term, but it can mean your arse.
Aye.
Right, so that, yeah. So anyway, we were interrogating somebody, and I can't remember what, but basically Glenn was DMing, and he had a sort of set situation he wanted to pan out. But I was like, no, I want an interrogator, and he was like, all right, roll intimidation, and he basically like, I rolled like a 19, and he was like, no, you fail.
What?
Because he didn't want me interrogating her. He wanted me to get out because they knew one of the other characters, and they would, you know, had a conversation scripted. So he just wanted me out of the room, but I could sense it, and I was like, no, because like I don't know, I was being a bam, but it was like, so I was like, roll intimidation. She's tied to a chair or whatever, and I was like a dragonborn, you know, monk thing standing there trying to. He's like, no, I rolled at a 19, no, it fails. I was like, right, I want to hit her. He's like, right, roll a hit, rolled at an 18, and I had like a +6 or whatever. He's like, no, you miss. I'm like, I miss someone sitting in a chair on an 18. I was like, fuck up, that never happened. He was doing my nothing. It's because I started doing a thing called pick a hand. When people were like annoying me, I'd say pick a hand, and then, you know, whatever hand they said, I'd punch them with.
That's good. Funny.
To be fair though, I think he kind of knew he was being a bam, because there was some situation we were in later on where he was giving. I was rolling like 8s and stuff like that. He was like, oh, hits, and I was like, I don't think that should, but whatever. It's like when we.
Well, it depends on armor class, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
So I mean,
a lot of DMs, when you land like the finishing blow on somebody, they'll kind of describe it and give it some detail.
Yeah. Aye.
He would let us do it, which was kind of fun. So it was like the finishing blow of the fight, and basically, I think it was a sneak attack I hit somebody with as well. So he was like, "How do you want this to play out?" I was like, I slowly like rise up behind them like this, and then I whisper in the ear, "Pick a hand," and I do the headache punch, like both hands at one time, and it crushed their head, and like their brain exploded. That was pretty fun. So yeah, I think that was his kind of.
my best kill.
We were both BAMs, so that was, we kind of like sorted it out, you know.
My best kill was on the dragon, one of the first dragons we fought, like an acid dragon or something, and I had these jump boots that let me jump double the height with no repercussions. That was one of the key things.
Yeah. The fall doesn't hurt you. Or
yeah, I think maybe that wasn't specifically implied, and maybe there was. I should have been suffering that sort of fall damage, but whatever. She was like, no, fuck it. You can jump 60 feet in the air, and I think the dragon was trying to get away, and I think I nailed it. So I did my super jump up in the sky, caught it with an arrow, and then it comes down, and as it's sort of falling to the ground, I sort of like, Avengers land on top of its head and splattered it or something. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Come on, crack this open. Awesome. Crack an egg on it.
That's about 9.
What have you got to do first? You got to take a shit. Oh no, it's. I was half right. Nah, I think with that, I will. We'll let you puke your guts out. Fine.
We'll return to this when Thor's sobered up.
Ta, big man.